Good evening and welcome to another live stream from a home in Italy. It's Wednesday night. Did you realize that? It's Wednesday. We don't do it on Tuesdays anymore. So all of you that logged in yesterday to see us, why weren't you listening 2 weeks ago? Tell me why. Tell me. Thank you. So it's Wednesday night. Every Wednesday from now on are the live streams. And the reason for that, just in case you're interested, you're probably not, but just in case you are, the reason is, what reason was it, Tone? I can't. Oh, yeah. Because we have been cancelling a few of the Tuesday nights. For some reason, Tuesday nights have just become a bit of a stress. So we moved it to Wednesday, and we're hoping to have a lot less cancellations during the year. So you're going to be stuck with me every week, every Wednesday, or as many Wednesdays as possible. And there you go. That's the reason why. Hello from Florida. Need advice if using a local. What was that, Tone? You see, Tony's back to his usual thing. Tony's producer, local realtor. Okay, we'll talk. We'll touch on some of that later, but that's more for a Q&A session. But we'll be touching on a few different things. So, going to get through some of the notices a little bit quick because we've decided this evening we're just going to have a 10-15-minute session with David Nixon from Currencies Direct, and the reason for that is a big part of the remote purchase that we're going to be talking about this evening. So that's, I can't get my words out tonight. That is the subject we are talking about. And at that point, Tony should now let me take over the screen. We are talking about, there you go, remote buying, the new craze. And it is a massive craze. It is unbelievable. We are now at probably 99% remote sales. That's where people don't come over, they leave everything else, and that's what we're going to talk about. And I wanted to bring David Nixon in, which I know some of you would have seen on previous webinars, live streams, because he deals with a lot of our clients for when it comes to transferring money from wherever you're buying from whether it's the US or the UK or wherever it is, to send your money over here to Italy, because we've had a number of problems recently that just doesn't happen when we deal with these guys. So I wanted to bring him back. Plus, he's got some news himself. So we're going to be bringing him on shortly. So let's have a quick look what we've got this evening. We have got stunning photo of the week. I've been told that when the cheers come on that you can't hear my voice. Did you know that, Tone? When the cheers happen, I apparently go silent. I didn't realize that, so we'll keep them to a minimum. Have we finished? Okay. Stunning photo of the week. We've also got Domenico and Tony's tongue twisting trials. And we've got the new one, a new one this week that I want to start. Tony's going to, he is laughing. What are you laughing at already?
I'm not laughing at all. No.
I think this is going to be fun.
You come up with all these crazy ideas.
I know, but I think this one, do you know what it's called? It's a brilliant title. It's not a cheesy title at all. It
went in one ear and out the other.
Fun Time in the Sunshine. Does it get any better than that? I mean, it's just no. Oh well, there you go. I'll let you know what that is in a short while. In fact, I might let David Nixon be the judge of the first ever Fun Time in the Sunshine. I don't know why we're doing this, but it's to have a bit of fun. That's why. I'll tell you what it is all about shortly. Hello, still in Pescara after last week's tour. Last week's tour was fantastic. Both tours in May were superb, and absolute great bunches of people. But Currencies Direct rock. Is that Troy? Oh no, it's David Palladino. David's buying a great place in Vittorito. Currencies Direct rock. There you go. David Nixon, is he watching? Oh, I can see him on a little screen. Yeah, he's watching. He likes a little bit of he likes, a few compliments coming in. It's a bit like Tony, like that. Anyway, where was I? Hi guys, sorry I didn't see you in Sulmona last week. It is a shame. Oh, you were there, were you, Ali? Well, there you go. There you go. It's a shame that we missed you. Last week's tour was fantastic. I want to show you a few pictures, actually. Before we do that, let's quickly do the stunning photo of the week, because I love this one. This was sent in by Bill, and he sent me, and me and Tony had never heard of this until now. Look at this for a picture. This apparently is from the Knights of Malta keyhole. There you go. What? The Knights of Malta keyhole. Tony, are you making this up?
No, nothing to do with me.
This is a famous. I have heard of it. I think so. It's a famous keyhole in Rome, and it's in the Malta, whatever it is, but it's known as the Knights of Malta keyhole. Apparently, you can find it on TripAdvisor, and you're supposed to look through this keyhole. That's how you've heard of it, Tony. That's how you're a bit of a peeping Tom, aren't you? He's peered through a few keyholes in his time, let me tell you. Shocking. Anyway, this one is the Knights of Malta keyhole, and you look through the keyhole and you see this perfectly. I've got to be careful what I say. Perfectly trimmed hedge. Hedge is what I said. And at the end of it, in this gap, is the what's the word I'm looking for? Is the why have I forgot the name? You've put me off big style. It's the Vatican. The Vatican. Yeah, look at that. So, Bill, thank you so much for sending through. And anybody that goes to Rome, go and have a peek through the Knights of Malta keyhole. There you go. Do you see the kind of things you learn on this show are just absolutely incredible, bordering on incredible, but also bordering on useless. Take it take it however you want to take it. With regards to the tours coming up in springtime, confirmed autumn date. If I can just take the stream again, Town, please. So we've got 25th to the 26th of September, 23rd to the 24th of October, and November 6th and 7th. September has got quite a few bookings on there. I think we're over half full. October and November, plenty of bookings. But it's time to jump on. It's time to do it. It's time to come on a tour. And I'm going to show you why now. Look at some of these pictures here. This is from last week's tour. Here's the group. Look, a mighty fine bunch, don't they? I think we were traveling around. There was just over 30 of us. This is in Vittorito. Everybody's looking at this. This was the second call off Vittorito. This is them in Raiano on the two buses that there's Sebastiano, the mad driver, on the right hand side. Then we went on from Raiano to, it was the Cherry Festa, just in case you're wondering. That's why there's all these cherry lights. Then from there we went to Predsa. This is everybody chilling out in the bar. It was quite hot as well, so we do try and do a few stops where possible. Then from Predsa, we went still in Predsa. We did a little bit of exercise climbing up to this house, a fantastic property there that is still for sale. Then from there, we went for lunch near to Pacentro. This is the gardens of the restaurant where we went to. Then this was the end of day one. This was in Sulmona. Have you noticed the difference? You probably can't see the look on their faces, but they look a bit tired at this moment. We'd done quite a lot on the first day, and then we were up bright and early and off to Penepiedimonte the second day, where people were blown away by the scenery. And I will say, we've got an apartment this week, Saturday video property, which can be seen early if you're on Patreon. You can actually see it tomorrow if you're part of our Patreon. 18,900 euros, including all fees and taxes. And it's got a balcony with amazing views. And it's at the seconds away from this piazza. So there you go. That's something to look forward to this week. Then we went to Palombaro. Look at that for a scenery. That is just amazing. Went to see a detached property there with these views. Incredible. Then we went to Fara San Martino. This is down at the Green River. This is the water that runs into the pasta factories, Di Cecco Pasta and the others. And then this is the meal on the last day. This is down by the coast. You can probably see the sea in the background. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic. So what we did as well, in 2 days, 24 properties it was 8 or 9 locations, I think, something like that. 24 properties we saw. So a good time was had by all, I believe. So if you are interested in anything like that, then book it. Come along September, October or November. Book your space as soon as possible, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. We don't do them through the summertime purely because it just gets a little bit too hot. Another quick thing to say, if you're looking for rental properties, then contact our friends as usual over at rentinabruzzo@gmail.com. And they have got lots of properties. If you're looking to short-term or long-term rental, send them an email, see what they've got available. They have places around the Sulmona area and also here in Palombaro. So definitely worth a message to them and see what they can do for you. I'm rushing this purely because I said to David, who I know is very busy, I said that I'd be ready in about 15 minutes, which I don't think I will be, but oh God, it's that time. It's that time, folks. It's that time. It's everybody's favorite time. It's Domenico and Tony's tongue-twisting trials. Anybody that's joining us for the first time, this is where the producer, Tony, will try in his best Italian to say a famous phrase from a film, and then the same phrase will be said in English by our agent over in the Sulmona area, Domenico. And at that point, once it's said in English, you can have a go and guess the film. Evening, sir.
I thought I got away with it this week.
No. It's not too difficult. I've had to leave. People have got to listen carefully because there's one thing that could give it away, and it's a name of somebody. That might give it away. So I've left it in yours because obviously you're doing your best in Italian. But I've taken the name out of Domenico's because I think it may give it away. Are you ready for yours?
Well, if you send me it, I will.
I'm sending it you now.
Oh,
you hear his little ringtone, his little frog.
Yeah, crazy frog. No, that is.
Because you're holding David up from Currency's dad. David, is he still there? Let me have a look. David, are you still there? Oh, he's there. There he is. Look, let's hide him again. Just checking that he's there. He's there and ready for us. Are you ready, Tom?
Yeah, go on.
Don't sound too enthusiastic. Okay, go.
Ma se devi spagliare sul serio. Perché? Chi mi frega? E poi non mi ammazza, non ha capito niente di tutto. Niente.
Not bad. Not bad. But you got to study it for later, because remember how the Italian words, when you say a word that has a G in the middle, you don't necessarily pronounce that. So that's a bit of a, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Really.
Being interesting as usual. Thank you. So that's that out of the way. Let's bring David from Currencies Direct on. Good evening, sir.
How are you doing? I'm really good, thanks.
We're really good. We're really good. Yeah. Thank you very much. How is it in sunny Florida?
Oh, it's a lot warmer than the last time I was with you in Italy. That is for sure. It's getting to that time of the year where we get the rain every day, so that's always quite a thrilling experience. If you haven't.
Well, we've got glorious sunshine, and we're about 33, 34 degrees Celsius. So it's a little bit warm.
I was getting all emotional looking at the photos that you were putting up there, and like for the first time being able to think, oh my goodness me, that's that place that we went to. And yeah, really good. Very, very nice.
Well, there you go. There you go. So just to introduce you to people that don't know you obviously, by the way, that television, who's hung that television in the background?
Oh,
that's never been straight.
No, okay.
That's terrible.
Talk to the handyman about that.
Yeah, I would. So David is from Currencies Direct, David Nixon, and looks after probably a good, I'm going to say 70% at the moment of clients. And there was a reason for that in the past that you're going to tell us about now. When it comes to changing funds from wherever it is, whether it's dollars, Canadian dollars, Australian, whatever, UK, pounds, over to buy a property in Italy. And there's a few things I want to ask you about, because we've had a few problems recently, all related to remote sales. And I hope that you'll be able to answer these things for me.
Yeah.
But before we do that, in the past, you probably had 70% of our business because you couldn't deal in all states of America, could you? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So there was a portion of the states in the United States where we could make a payment, but we could only make a payment to that person's account in a different country. And there was a portion of clients that we just couldn't service at all because we weren't registered to open accounts for clients in those states. So, that was quite disappointing because there were some really, important states on there, like Arizona was one that always popped up. We had tons of Arizonians, looking to, transfer money to Europe for all kinds of things. So really glad that, we've managed to now support all 50 states in the United States. We've been doing that for the last couple of months. It's been going phenomenally well. And I think the only states that we don't have a David Benton registered client from at the moment are Arkansas.
That's terrible.
Yeah, terrible. So Alaska.
Let me write this down. Arkansas.
Alaska. Oklahoma.
Okay.
West Virginia. And I'm going to put the US Virgin Islands on there as well. So I'll go for a vacation in the last place that someone doesn't register from. So go US Virgin Islands.
Now make it Alaska.
Yeah, Noble, I would love to go there as well.
I'm going to say I would join you there. I probably shouldn't have said that. But,
Yeah.
And this is how childish Tony is. As soon as you mention the Virgin Islands, look at him. Oh no, he's got his miserable face on now. Anyway, is that true? So? We need to get some clients from this. So somebody, even if they don't want to buy a house anywhere or change any money, we just need to get people registered.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be funny.
That
would be absolutely brilliant. Yeah,
but it's amazing. It's fantastic now that you can help everybody. So when they go on the website, obviously, as I always tell people, follow the links through our website. So the website is homeinitaly.com, which I'm sure Tony's going to put up shortly on the ticker at the bottom. Follow the links on there purely because they get direct access to you. And I know you love it when I give your WhatsApp number out and people call you at all times during the night. But that's the great thing, that if somebody is worried about things or they want to know how it all works and why they should use you over a bank and all that, we're going to have another live stream with you in a few weeks' time so you can talk about that again. But at least you can sit and talk to them and go through everything. So it's fantastic that you can now help everybody in each state. So they go onto the website now and they will find their state in the drop down box.
Yeah, that's right. And the process is exactly the same. The biggest difference between our existing clients that we could help and this new batch of states is that we've just expanded the amount of banking relationships that we have now in the United States. So for those clients, they're getting sponsored by Cross River Bank. So that'd be where, clients' funds would go to. And it's been working absolutely phenomenally, exactly how we would expect it to work. And as you can imagine, we're very, very big in Europe, not just in Italy, but primarily across Spain and France.
Yeah.
And the amount of business that we were turning away from, particularly those American states was, astronomical. So, that was something that, we needed to do something about. And it was incredibly frustrating, not to be able to, take full advantage of the opportunity that you've given us. And it's an opportunity that we're really thankful for. So that's why, we try to go above and beyond to help, everybody out that we can. And even in those cases where we had clients from places that we couldn't help, I was still trying to help them as much as I possibly could, whether it was using another firm or giving them, advice behind the scenes. Because again, from my point of view, what we've done together, in terms of the YouTube show and like the amount of registrations has given us the chance to talk to loads of people about something that's really important, and it's like worked phenomenally, and it's something that I'm really proud of, and that's why I'm thankful for your business, and I want to reflect you in a really good way, and I believe Currencies Direct has done that to this point this year.
Definitely that, and that's what brings us now to the obviously we're talking about remote buying today. I'm going to go through a few stages once I've let you go, but I was talking to you just before the show and mentioning that the banking side, the exchange part of it is a huge part, because obviously without the funds we can't do a signing, as simple as that. And I was speaking to you earlier about a number of sales that we've had to postpone recently, and this has been, everybody has the right to use whichever company they want to do, and obviously some people feel safer using banks, even though, again, we'll go through this when we've got you for an hour, but even though all their funds are secure with you rather than a smaller amount with banks and things like that, some people just think it's safer with a bank. But we've had to cancel a number of acts recently because the funds have just not been getting here in time. So whenever we've dealt with you guys, the funds are here. Once somebody says to me, I've registered with Currencies Direct, which people are free to do that tonight. You don't have to trade any money. It doesn't cost you anything. Register with them. Go through the website and you'll see all the links for Currencies Direct on most pages. Register with them. But once we know that you guys have got the funds, then I feel we just forget about that side then, because the funds are here. When you say they're here, they're going to be here. And sometimes it's same day, sometimes. What I want to know is why can't others do that? Why am I having to cancel a number of acts for people that's coming through traditional banks, which I would have thought would have been just a quicker process? What's your opinion as to why that could be?
Yeah, so I mean, you've got all kinds of situations, but generally speaking, is US banks want to know, everything that they need to know about, the person that they're paying, for example. And let's just say there's a slight discrepancy in the spelling of a name, or it might just be that this is a small firm that they cannot verify from the US bank standpoint. They would then submit a compliance request, then that compliance request will go down to the branch, and then that branch would reach out to the client, and then the client would sometimes get brought back to the branch, and they'd have to then explain what the payment is for, would have to supply documentation, for example, to show that, this is a property contract. And all of those things can slow down a process massively in the case of how US banks, because there's no point them taking any risk whatsoever doing something that there might be even remotely, something that isn't quite explainable to them, as opposed to when you're dealing with a partnership in terms of how we operate. I'm able to go for you for information quickly. If you've got a question regarding, hey, David, one of my clients has got a payment held up with Currencies Direct, for example, yeah, I can quickly go in and look at it as, again, an extension of your business to say, oh, this is the problem. Oh, in this case, David, what's happened is your notary has changed their bank details, and my compliance department want to check to make sure that yeah, notary is the right payee. And for me, that is a good reason to hold up a payment for a day, for example, right? Yeah. But with a bank, for them to go and get that information from you in Italy, who they don't know, have no interest in knowing about, that takes a much, much longer period of time. And I think that's the biggest difference. Yeah.
Again, I mean, obviously, you guys, the compliance is still strict from, we're talking about compliance here from all countries. I mean, the banks in the UK are just as bad. In Canada, I should imagine the same. But it's not that you guys say, okay, yeah, we'll send any money anywhere. No, I mean, obviously, you've still got the compliance, but it's that contact. It's going back to that contact again. It's going back to that thing where we can contact you and say, or the clients can say, Dave, I've just done this deal. This is happening, and this, and obviously you can then quickly sort it out, or one of your team will sort it out. And I think that's probably, again, well, it is a huge part of it, isn't it? The banks just don't have that closeness, if you like, with everybody, and
they're just not a particular specialist in just one thing. And what we're a specialist in is moving large sums of money from one country to another for real estate transactions. I think that's what it is in a nutshell. So, whether you're a British person buying in Florida, or whether you're an American buying in France, or someone from Australia moving back to the UK, whatever it is, that that's what we do as a business, and that's all that we do. As opposed to a bank, they've got many different specialities, and that isn't one of them. I used to think people used to come to companies like ours just because of the exchange rate, and actually what I've learned, it's actually more about the facilitation of the payment. Making sure that something is on time is a really important part of that process, which again is why you might have online-based companies, card-based companies that we talk about all of the time. And they have sort of the opposite problem, where they have loads and loads of customers using them, but they just don't have the resources in terms of, again, following up with the client, having a relationship with a partner. And again, by specializing in just the real estate world, it's very interconnected.
No, definitely. Because I mean, some people are on deadlines with contracts, that could mean that they lose a property, they lose deposits. We're talking serious things here.
Absolutely. And again, you're stuck in situations where deposits are at risk. You're also dealing with people like yourself that are in a customer service business as well, right? You want happy customers. All of a sudden, you don't want unhappy customers. You don't want people that you're working with to have unhappy customers.
Yeah.
And that's just, again, why it's much better to be connected rather than, having and leaving everybody to their own devices. And it's not that people can't make decisions and choices on their own. They absolutely can. But again, when we're working with multiple clients, people can go and research what we're telling them on our webinars and on our, our live streams. And it's all there on the internet. You can go and you do it yourself, which is sort of like giving you a face and a personal touch, and hopefully, the process that we've set in place for a lot of your buyers that has worked, makes everyone feel more comfortable throughout the process.
Definitely. So, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the great thing is that you mentioned that, in your opinion now, it's not just about getting a better rate, but that is a huge thing as well. You do get better rates than banks. As simple as that. Some people will say, no, cards can get better rates, but some of the things that you guys offer, where we're not going to go into it too much now, but where I can, let's say, if the talking about the US dollar again, but 6 months ago it was 10% higher. It was better than what it is now. You could have locked somebody in 6 months ago that might not be thinking about buying until 12 months time. But you could have locked that good rate in, and they could have ridden out all of this storm, if you like, and hopefully and so you've got so many products you can do. I didn't want to take too many questions, but somebody just asked if it's like an escrow account. So they're probably talking about, are their funds safe? Yep, thanks, Tony. That was quick. We're telling them really quick. Dave Stevens, does Currencies Direct work like an escrow account? So if you can just quickly tell people, because we're talking about remote buying and people obviously, hopefully using you guys, is their money safe? We've said that the actual transaction should be smoother because we're dealing with real people. We're dealing with you. We've said that the exchange rate should be better because this is what you do. Are people's funds safe? That's a huge thing.
Yeah. So number one, yes. So number one, your funds are held with a bank. So a bank has their own individual amounts where they have to cover the funds that are in your account. In the United States, that's $240,000 US dollars. However, with a company like ours, which is a money services business, we have to cover 100% of the funds in any person's individual account. We call them VIBAN accounts, I guess, or Currencies Direct internally call them personal collections accounts. So they're accounts that are actually entitled in your name. So it's an individual account number, an individual routing number that's exactly for your particular individual. Lots of companies and Currencies Direct prior to a couple of years ago, we used to give people a pooled account to transfer money to, which clients were of a benefit of, and then we'd split them out into their own individually segregated accounts. But now, particularly in like global mobility and stuff, you'll be dealing, especially people that move to Italy, and like pensions needing to go somewhere, like, any kind of like payments for rent, for example, that they might be collecting in the United States that they might need in Italy. A lot of times people need accounts that are now like in their client's name. And so that's what we provide to clients now. And it's a much better way for us to, collect money and service like loads more people for lots of other different things that are on the back of a property transaction. So again, that's sort of like what we're learning along the way is we need to be offering like more and more all of the time. And again, that's like what we're trying to do, at Currencies Direct at the moment, for sure.
Excellent. Superb. And you guys slot in perfectly with our business in the sense of we are people. Me and you had this conversation. We've had it many times. Many times that for me, it's all important about, the company is a great company you've got and everything else. The thing for me is having somebody like you at the other side of the phone, which is for us is a huge help, and sometimes a huge help for clients. That, I mean, this morning you responded to me at 5:55. What were you doing up at that time? I don't know, but
yoga. That's my thing, right? It's 6 a.m. yoga.
I sent you a message. I wasn't expecting a reply until late. And can you help me out with that? I bet you love getting messages from me. And it's things like that keep everything going smoother, which I really appreciate. So we are going to have some time with you next month. We're going to do a full session. Brilliant. For those of you who haven't yet registered with Currencies Direct, please go onto our website. You're seeing it below. You'll see Currencies Direct all over the place. Click on there, and then you've got direct access to David. We're allowed to pass on his personal number and things like that to you. And then once you're ready, they don't have to do anything now, do they? But register, find your way around the app, see how everything works, and then once they're ready, they can deal with you. So before you go, David, I just want one thing.
Go
This
ahead.
is a new thing. Tony's been taking the mess. He's shaking his head now. Tony, it's fun time in the sunshine. This is my new. But it's because it's boring. It's summertime, so we need to be happy, right? So what I want people to do. I heard a joke the other day, and I thought it was pretty good. It made me laugh. So, and I thought to myself, in this miserable world at the moment, which it's not all miserable, but we need to have a bit more fun, right? So I heard this joke and I thought it was pretty good. It made me smile. So I want people to send jokes in. They can be terrible jokes. Obviously, keep them clean, and all the new things. We can't be racist, and we can't be this, and we can't be the other. Are you ready for this? Because this joke, I'm gonna say it, and the reaction that I get from you will determine the mark that this joke gets.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Go.
I'm only let you come on, Tony, just to see if I get any sort of smile. Dave is the judge of this one. Are you ready?
Go on, man.
My wife didn't believe when I said I made a car from spaghetti. You should have seen her face when I passed her. Did you not like that, Tone?
Yeah. Funny, I suppose.
Well, that went down well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Did you actually get it, Tone?
Yes, I did, David.
Well, there you go. That's the first fun time in the sunshine that went down like a lead balloon. See what happens next time. Send us some jokes in, folks. Let us know. David, thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
We're going to see you when? Early July? You're going to come and do it?
Yeah, I come back. I'm having a bit of a family vacation. I think about the 6th of July I'm back. So
when you say
in
family
July,
vacation, you've just told me that you're going to be on your own and there's golf involved.
well, yeah, but there's the 7 days before that, which is a family vacation. So half family, half English family. So I'm going back to the UK for the first time in I think 5 years. So, gosh.
That'll be a shock to the system, mate. Well, say hello to Blighty for me.
Yeah,
and we'll see you then. We'll make a date and we'll get some. We'll get you up here and explain to people all about the service and everything else you can do with them. Thanks a lot, Dave. Really appreciate your time this evening.
Bye bye.
Speak to you soon. Well, there you go. That was the first fun time in the sunshine that went down as well as expected. Tony, I thought that was funny.
Oh, that was hilarious, David.
Send us your terrible jokes in. We need a tumbleweed thing. Somebody said tumbleweed. It was just that. Anyway, what does it matter if I laughed or not? There you go. Obviously, it's just not funny. It wasn't my joke, by the way. It was one that I heard, and I just thought you'll be telling it tomorrow. Definitely. There'll be some people on here laughing, and tomorrow they'll be telling it all to their families. Okay, let's carry on this subject before we bring Domenico on. Which is later in the show. He's going to do the rest of Domenico and Tony's tongue-twisting trials. Let's carry on the conversation. So we're talking about remote purchasing. Lots of people. It is the in thing. It is unbelievable the amount of people that are remote purchasing. And it's not only the people are buying properties that they've never seen. The people are buying properties off the videos. I would say we're at about an 85% success rate from the videos, the Saturday videos. And then on Patreon, there's a number of properties that go on Patreon that are only seen by Patreons. And again, I've mentioned Patreon a lot because this is the place to go. If you're ready to buy now, you get more selections of properties. And we are getting a number of Patreons in houses, which is fantastic because that's what it's all about. And that's where our business is now geared up to this kind of thing, to specialize in getting the best properties to get people in them. So the amount of people that are buying remotely has just gone through the roof. We are definitely at 99%, definitely, if not more. We very rarely see people that are here. We may get one or two per year where people actually come out. So there is a number of things to be wary of, I would say, if you're gonna be remote buying. I feel that on our video channel, I do get some people that say I talk too much and I go on too much and all the rest of it, which is fine. You know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and they're probably right because I do like to talk a lot, as you know. But I think buying from photographs is a tough one because you do need to see everything. I make sure that everything is is filmed, every last inch of it. And I also give my opinions if there's anything wrong with it, if there's any work that needs doing, and all the rest of it. But obviously, you have to be 100% happy yourself, and trust in the person who's doing it. And this is sometimes where the tours are great, because some people, they may trust us 100% without even knowing us, but they still need to come and see the area and all the rest of it. And that's where the tours come in really, really handy for that kind of thing, for people coming out and making sure the area is what they think it is. And then when a property comes up on the video channel later, they may think, you know what, I'm going to go for that now because I've been to that town, I know it, the video is everything I need, and let's get on with it. So a lot of people ask me, when we've got the all-inclusive prices, does it include everything? And it does. It includes the entire service. It includes more than what it's not a commission. We are not agents. We can't charge you a commission. The agents that we deal with charge the homeowners, because that's how it works here in Italy. Usually it's the homeowners, the sellers and the buyers that both pay the commissions. But the way that we do it is the agent doesn't charge you a commission, and that allows you to use our services. But as part of these services and the remote buying, it includes all the power of attorney documents that we need to do, and sorting that out with the notary. It includes geometers that get involved to check some of the documents and the rest of it. It also includes changing over all the new sales from this year, sort of starting from January, February, whenever we started it. It includes all the changing over of utilities and that kind of thing. It also includes checks that lots of agents don't do when you're especially when you're signing the early contracts, compromesso contracts, where they should do debt checks straight away to see if there's anything on that property. So it includes doing things like that. It includes somebody being there at your property when the water company needs to come out to fit a new meter, and then the gas company want to come afterwards to fit a new meter, and then the electric company want to come after, and they never do it on the same day. They never make it easy, and they say, oh, we'll be there between 8 and 10, and you're waiting around for hours. It includes all of that. It's a full, complete service, and that's what these properties are all about. So it just makes it easier for people. And some people will say, well, how much is just the house? Obviously, that will be on all the contracts how much the house is. Everything else on top of that, the houses are being negotiated to the best prices possible, and everything else on top of that, notary fees, taxes, all of the things I've just mentioned, our fees, power of attorneys, translations, everything you need, and going then through to sorting out utilities, setting them up on direct debit, registering with the council, all the rest of it. So what I would say is, if you're going to buy remote, make sure that you're at least getting the minimum service. And what I would say the minimum service is, I'm talking power of attorneys, I'm talking about making sure that there's somebody at the notary to translate those power of attorneys. The amount of time that people have contacted me and said they should have been doing a signing, but then they didn't realize that they needed a translator to be at even though they'd left it in the hands of somebody else, the power of attorney still need translating. So the power of attorney comes back to us in English, and when we get to the notary, between myself and my wife, one of us signs for you, the other one is the translator for the power of attorney document, and swears that everything's correct. They have to translate the apostille, the apostle stamp. Everything has to be done. And some agents don't do that. And it's not out of being sort of them thinking, oh, we can get away with it. Sometimes it's because they don't realize that needs to be done. Because the remote buying is, not all agents do it, and not everybody uses other agents to do it. We're very busy on that, and it's because people tell us that they trust in us, which is fantastic. But there's lots of agents that have never even heard of this. So you need to make sure that everything is covered, because if not, you can get to the point, just as we were talking about with David then from Currency Direct, you can get to the point that you're suddenly stuck because there's one document missing. You're thinking, well, I thought this was all included, but there's always extra little things that people probably didn't realize, and even the agents didn't realize. So it's so important that you make sure 100% what is happening and what you get for your money, and that you're not going to be at any stage left at a point where they say, oh no, well, you need to come out. Because then all of a sudden you're thinking, I've got to do a signing by the end of July. It's now mid-July and I need to be out there. And so you need to be really careful, find out exactly what these people do for you. I'm going to quickly run through what we do, just so then hopefully it will help if maybe you're buying with somebody else. And this also goes for people that that are thinking about buying maybe through private sellers, because you can come to us as well and we can go work it out and give you the price for the whole package. If you find a private seller, then we can work it all out and say, look, if you do it through us, this is how much it's going to cost. If you're buying with another agent, but you just want us to handle things on your behalf, but we're only doing certain things, then we can price you up from that. That's the Lean on Me service with Enrica that works with us doing that. So we've got a number of different things that you can ask for, different services that you can ask for that are not necessarily available with anybody else. Debbie's saying, what's a good estimate of average agent commission in Italy? And does buyer pay both buyer and seller agent, or does each party pay their own commission? So if you're buying, the normal thing for a normal Italian estate agency is a minimum of, it used to be 3% plus VAT, but under 100,000 people are charging 4, sometimes even 5,000 I've heard, which for me is too much, plus VAT. That's just for a commission. And that is on for the person that's buying and the person that's selling. So the agent will take from both people. But remember, that is a commission. That's just to say we've advertised this property and we've found a buyer for it. And that's it. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to get your codis fiscales. They don't have to sort out power of attorneys. They won't do all that. First of all, and it's not their fault. That's just the way it is. They work on a commission. So first of all, they may just say, well, no, that's nothing to do with us. You know, you need to find a geometer or work with a notary or do whatever. So again, you need to ask the questions. We do a completely different system to anywhere else. And I think I could say that anybody else. I think I could say it's probably unique in Italy. I think I'd be confident enough to say that, because I've not seen anybody else that does it this way. And the reason why we do it this way is because of this high demand for remote purchasing, and because people just want it made easy for them. Just tell me, how much is this going to cost me? How much is it going to cost me at the end of the day? And am I going to have the keys in my hand, and are the documents going to be right and everything else? And that's what we do. So some of the all the prices that you see include that. The odd property, let's say if it's something we've not had time to work fees and taxes out, we will always say does not include. But from I would say 99.9% of the video properties that we've put on, certainly this year, and will continue to do so, will be including all fees and taxes. So let's just go through. Let me bring this. How can I bring this? Let's just quickly go through this. And I know some of you will be worried about remote buying, and I have a conversation quite often with my wife, with Sylvana, and we'll say, you know, would you do it? And it does take a certain type of person. Especially those that have never been to Italy before, never even been to Europe before, some people, but they go ahead and they buy it because they're sure, they watch the videos. And it's a great feeling for us that people trust us as much as they do. And that's why we open ourselves up almost to criticism, because we're here, we're live on a Wednesday. We can't stop people. The only time I can delete chat is after. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to go through, and if I have to start worrying about what people write, then I just won't do the business anymore, because that's not what we're about. We're a family business. Family's important for us. We live in the area. We've got kids in the area. We've got more things to put on the line than to make somebody's life a misery by doing a bad job for them. So when we're talking about, we really appreciate that people put a lot of faith and trust in us, and we do take that extremely serious. Some people, as I said, you may want to come out first, have a look. You may have even found a property while you're here and said, look, we found this, we love it. Can you sort it out? We're going back to the States or Canada or Australia, wherever it is you're going back to. We're just going to leave it all with you. Will you sort it out for us? And that's a big part of our job as well. So we use a 5-step process, and sometimes it's 4 steps, but I've put 5 on because this is usually what happens. So the first part of that is the initial deposit and the form completion. So it's a simple thing. You're blocking our services. You want to use our services to go ahead and purchase this property through one of our agents. You're sure on the property and everything else. We give you a secure link to our site. We give you a password to get onto that. The first deposit goes towards fees and taxes. Deposit that's held just if there's any problems later. Let's say, I don't know, there's another search done and the owners are not the owners who we thought, and all the rest of it, and just sort of something goes wrong, then you get the deposit back. If you get to the point where there's problems with the documents and it just can't be resolved, you get the deposit back. And there's a form on there as well that you fill out. You go through everything, and you have to tell us where the funds come from. This is all to do with money laundering and all that kind of thing. We've got it gives all the information about whether you're going to become resident and all that sort of thing. There's a lot of questions that we need to ask that are all going to be relevant to later in the sale. So you fill out the form, you pay the deposit, and then you move onwards from there. Then we've got step 2, Codis Fiscal. So if you haven't got your Codis Fiscal, I would say if you haven't got them, please do get back onto your local Italian consulate website and try and get your Codis Fiscals, because they are making it harder and harder and harder here in Italy. These are the tax codes that you need for us to be able to move forward with a property sale. So if you can go onto your local Italian consulate, go into the search box, click on Codis Fiscal, fill out the form and send it. Some of them will just say, no, we won't do it. In that case, then obviously we will help you. And we'll get them from this side, but it is getting harder and harder. Then we have step 3, a preliminary contract. This is a big thing. We're going to talk about contracts again on another live stream, because I know everybody loves the meet the home buyers and all that kind of thing, and sort of when we talk to people that bought here. But the serious side of it is also important as well. So we are going to be going through fees and taxes again soon, and we're going to talk about preliminary contracts. They're always there on YouTube. You can go to the live section on our YouTube page and find the ones that are called preliminary contracts or how to budget and things like that. There'll be ones that talk about different contracts, because it is really important. The thing is, at this stage, when we do a compromesso document, which is a promise to buy, promise to sell, we tend to keep it, a property, say up to 100k, we try and keep it at maybe around about a €3,000 deposit, sometimes 5, it can be 10%, but we try to keep them low because we have a quick turnaround in the sales going through. So we usually try and close within 2 to 3 months where possible, if all the documents are in order, but sometimes it can take a little bit longer. But the important thing that we do at this stage, and everybody needs to watch this, if you're buying through somebody else and they want you to do a compromise, so you need to be sure at this point that there's no debts on that property, because it's important. You're handing money over, so you need to make sure that the agents have done a check on this. It should be something that's done, but the vast majority won't be done. And it's really important. It's something that we do. Again, it's all part of our fees and taxes. And sometimes people that don't even know some of the things we do, but we do it because it's the right thing to do, so we don't necessarily say to everybody all the steps, what's happening, every last detail. We do it because it's the right thing to do. Carmen and Nicole in Fara San, sorry, I missed that one. Carmen and Nicole in Fara San Martino checking in with today's broadcast. Thanks for your recent help with property tax payment and now boiler inspection. We do everything, even boiler inspection. You're welcome, Carmen and Nicole, a brilliant family from got a place in Fara San Martino. But no, it's really important. So when you pay, just say to them, has somebody done a check just to make sure? Now, there is obviously that moment from when you pay the deposit to when we go to the notary's office. The notary is the one that does the final checks, but a check at the early stage should be the least people do. So we get the geometry involved that does an inspection where they go onto land registry and just check that there's nothing that we should have our eyes open to at such early stages. It's good practice to do, and that's something that we do, and that's part of the service to you. Again, people will always say you talk the talk and all the rest of it, but we do take these things personally. It is a personal thing to us. We will do what we would expect. There's always going to be, sometimes there could be errors. Sometimes there could be, I'm talking slight errors, because everything gets checked by the notary at the end. You know, nobody's perfect, but we try to do everything. If we were buying that property, or if our brothers or sisters or parents or whoever said, I need you, you know, to do this, we would do it as if it's for us, because that is so important to do. It's pointless doing it any other way. So, but that's why you need to double check that these little things are done at these stages. Step 4, power of attorney and apostille. The apostille part, the apostle stamp, has now suddenly become a bit of a nightmare, like the codis fiscales have become. So a power of attorney, we will draw up a document that basically says that you give me the power to sign on your behalf. It's only for that property. It's not then that I can run around and buy loads of properties in your name and run up debts and all the things. It clearly states that it's free of charge, and it's for that. It's for the use of that property. It's not it's a specific power of attorney. It's not a general one. It's not one that where I'm taking over pretty much your life. You definitely don't want to do that. But it will have the specifics of the property. We draw up this document. It's a simple one-page document that gives information of the property, and it gives the price and everything else, and it gives me the right to be able to sign on your behalf, and to, more importantly, if there's any changes, to be able to adjust things, not buy another property, but have the power to have the flexibility to make sure that we can fulfill what you've asked us to do. And what happens then is we send you this document, and you then you then go in front of a notary, which in the US and Canada is fairly easy. Notaries are everywhere, and nobody seems to have any problems getting them there. In the UK, you have to search around for them a little bit more, and it does usually cost a lot more in the UK to do anything between £300 to £500 in the UK to have a notary and then put the apostle stamp. Whereas in the US and Canada, it seems to be less than $100 to do this. But you go to a notary. You sign the document in front of them. Now, the notary is not interested in what's in that document. That's nothing to do with them. It clearly states that as well, that they're not taking any responsibility for what you're signing. What the notary is doing is saying that you're in front of them, you're showing them the passport, it's your signature and all the rest of it. But what it must have then is an apostle stamp, because the notary stamp is not good enough as soon as it leaves the country where you are. So as soon as it leaves the UK or the US or wherever, it's no good without an apostle stamp. And the apostle stamp is something that happens to all notaries all over the world. It's a way of saying that this document is legitimate and can be used outside of the country. So it's not only the notary makes sure that you're legitimate and everything is done as it should be. The apostle stamp then states that the notary is legitimate and everything's done. Now in the US, this is done by the Secretary of State. In the UK, it's the Foreign Office. The Secretary of State at the moment, I'm not sure what's happening. I don't know if it's to do with recent changes, dare I say, but they used to take anything from a week to maximum used to be 2 or 3 weeks. Now they seem to be taking forevers. They seem to be just it can take months sometimes, which can really hold things up. And somebody's saying they're driving Christina, driving to the state capitol tomorrow for the apostille. That is the best thing. If you can get into a Secretary of State's office, then they will give you the apostle straight away. We secured our apostle at our county government office for $3 in Western. It's so much. I don't know why it costs so much in the UK to do these things, but it does. But if you can get to a Secretary of State office, it's so much quicker. It really is. It's quicker. You get the apostle straight away. Send that to us, and then we're good to go. We're ready. We've got everything. So if the documents are ready, then it's just a case of the funds being ready, and that then is where David Nixon and the guys there at Currencies Direct do such an amazing job, because that's obviously a big part of it as well. It was a provincial MLA with notary stamp for free. Not sure what that is Troy, but yeah, it's so much. It costs nothing if not free in some places, but in the UK it does cost quite a lot. Step 5 is the rogito, the final contract, the final act. This is what we've all been waiting for. And this obviously is once we've got the power of attorney back, your funds are in place, and it's sorry, I'm just reading that. Then in the UK, our apostle cost £200. Took an hour, drove to Hospital House, got it stamped. Anyone needs details? That's excellent. That because usually it does cost a lot more than that, so that is good to know about that. Because usually I've heard people paying £300 to £500. For the notary and everything else in the UK. So the final contract, obviously, we send the money to the notary's escrow account. Some agents have been told that some agents are asking people to send them the money for the house, and then they will pay it as your power of attorney. First of all, I wouldn't want that responsibility, because you send. I'm not going to take your money, but if I pass away, if something happens to me, I'm not saying my kids are going to take your money or my wife's going to take money. It just becomes more complicated, doesn't it? Where if it's sat in an escrow account, so the money for the house, obviously we ask for our fees, we collect some of the notary parts that's all going to be paid out, and everything's divided up. Whether it's the geometry that's getting paid, the translators are getting paid, wherever we need to pay out. The people that then go and sit in the houses waiting for the electricity company and everybody else to come out. So everything gets sent to us, and we sort out I'm not going to say debts because it's not debt, but sort out the people involved in making it happen. But the money for the house goes to the notary, and it's sat in the notary's escrow account, nobody else's. It needs to stay in there because then it's safe. And if anything should go wrong, we've got a couple of sales at the minute that are just taking forever. Some we're banging our head against the wall and really trying to make it happen, and it's not happening. Luckily, it doesn't happen very often, but we get 1 or 2 in every 100. But while ever the money is sat in the escrow account of the notary, it's completely safe. And then if it needs to go back to you, it gets sent back to you, and that's it. So it's important when you send it to the notary, it will be an escrow account anyway, and it's run by the Agencia de Entradas, or the tax office, or the main. It's a serious thing, but that's what should happen. Don't send it to anybody else. Don't send it to a power of attorney. I've only ever, in all the years I've been here, I've only ever known of one person who asked for the money, and they took money off a number of people, and it was shocking what happened. Luckily, they've been named and shamed, and it would never happen again. But it's just not worth that risk. But that's how it works. And it's a simple process. It flows the vast majority of time. It just flows as easy as it can do. Now, obviously, we have a lot of experience in doing this. We have the notary that is completely happy with the system that we do. And it's, sorry, I'm looking at my telephone now because I've just noticed that Domenico's not. Let me just. He's terrible, typical Italian. Oh, he's joined now. He's just. I better cancel that message. You'll think I'm having a go. But no, we've got it off to a T. The notary is completely satisfied with everything that we ever do. The way we do the power of attorneys, the way everything is set up, and it just runs as smooth as anything. The only strange thing for us is that we get all these people asking to do remote sales, and we go through all the process, and we have contact usually via WhatsApp because of the time differences. We'll speak to people. We're always here between myself and my wife. My wife Silvana takes care of most things leading up to it and most things afterwards, to be fair. But we then sometimes go to the notary office. We've got a signing. We've got some signings tomorrow, and one of them, I'm power of attorney for the buyer. She's power of attorney for the seller. We go there, we sign the documents, and we walk away. And it's strange. It happens so much that we go, we meet the owners, we shake hands with the owners. The notary's paid. You sent all the money where we've asked you to send it to. We sign the contract. They give us a key. We take this key. We come back to our office. We put it in a drawer. and that's it. And it is it's the weirdest feeling ever. You know, we send you a message and we say, congratulations, it's yours, and all the rest of it. But it's such a strange feeling to do such a huge thing for somebody, and then the keys going in a drawer, and sometimes we don't see people for months. We've got some signings that we did last year where the people still haven't been yet. And it is strange, and we still do things for them sort of online, and whether that's tax payments or other things, and it's a very weird thing. But thankfully, you know, people are happy, touch wood, with everybody that's come out and seen their place. They love it, and they love their area. So obviously we can't do enough to try and push the area. The area is amazing, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. It's just strange for us to go through all of these processes, and then there's nothing at the end of it. There's no sort of big celebration. It's just keys in a drawer until you come out. But other than that, you know, from our side, we're ready to help. We've got everything in where it needs to be. It's just down to you guys to make the decision and see whether remote buying is for you. But if you're doing it with, I'm not just saying only do it with us, obviously not. But if you are doing the remote thing and you're doing it with us, then enjoy the ride. And what I will say is you will love whatever place you're buying, and you'll love the area. You know how I feel about all of that. There's no question whatsoever. It is a well-oiled machine, Laurie. That's right. And Lama Laurie is back in town soon. Okay, Tone, I think I'm... there you go. Francis, because of the seller, we've had money with the notary and Dave for months. Oh, I know who you are now. Yes, this is a classic example. Francis, we'll I think you'll have to be a meet the almost home buyer at some point, because that would be a good story. But again, his funds are in the notary account, and his funds are safe. And that's the important thing. Just do things right. Just make sure the people that you're using are registered. Make sure the people that have got businesses. You're not just doing it. Oh, my friend used this person. It's not really what they do, but they do it anyway to help people. Forget it. Things have got to be done perfect. Okay, it's time. It's time to bring. Oh, I've just seen Domenico's disappeared. Is he there? Domenico. It's time for Domenico and Tony's in trials.
Hey, Duck. How you doing?
Buonasera.
Buonasera.
Come stai?
Right.
Bene.
Tutto bene? Sei un po' buio questa sera, non c'è luce, non si vede bene.
Sì, mi sono scordato di accenderlo.
You forgot to turn the light on. Non fa niente.
È crepuscolo.
Hey, that's funnier than your joke, David.
There was nothing wrong. By the way, I didn't come up with that joke. That joke was good. Okay, are we ready? So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is the last part of Domenico and Tony's tongue twisting trials. We're going to start again with, I need to send Domenico his. We're going to start again with Tony's shocking version of, and remember what I said. What did I say to you earlier?
Yes, I know. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I want it perfect this time then. So Tony's going to say it again in Italian. Then Domenico is going to say it in his best English, and then and then it's time to guess the film. Okay, let me send Domenico his. Tony, are you ready to do it again?
Okay. Yeah, I'm just.
Off you go.
Okay. Ma si spari, devi sbagliare sul serio. Perché? Chi mi frega? E poi non mi ammazza. Non è capito niente di trucco. Niente.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Bravo, Tony.
Grazie, Domenico.
Good.
Lewis has just said sponsored by Best. I'm not even going down that line.
I'm not even going to put it on.
No, you did right. No, keep him off. Right. Okay, Domenico, in your best English. And everybody else, get ready. Let's see who gets the name of the film first, even though I think I might win this week. Vai.
If you miss, you had better miss very well. Whoever double crosses, my love is my alive. He understand nothing about me. Nothing.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Sorry, Piccolero, però bravo, bravo.
Very good, Tommy.
Let's see if anybody gets it tonight.
Poco espressivo. Come on,
No,
Tommy.
nobody's getting it. Nobody's getting it. We've got a lot of Ciao Domenico. Come on, Domenico. I can't believe it. No, it's definitely mine this week. Definitely mine this week. I'm going to give it another 10 seconds.
Where it comes from.
Huh?
Difficile.
It's un po' difficile, non tanto. It's not too. I'm surprised nobody's got this. No, I'm going to give it 5 more seconds. Francis saying Scarface. No. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The winner this week.
I think we should give it a little bit longer.
So what Domenico was going to say was, if you miss, you had better miss very well. Whoever double crosses me and leaves me alive, he understands nothing about. No, nothing about. And the name is it Truco? What's the name on your? Oh, doesn't matter, Tony.
Truco.
Nobody's got it, have they? Nobody's got it. My dad must not be watching tonight because he definitely knows this. Nobody's got it. It's from The Good, the Bad, and the Tony. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's the film. Can't believe nobody got it. Absolutely nobody got it. Well, there you go. 1-0.
I would never get that.
Because it's Wednesday night and we're starting something new. Obviously, I won the last season. Tuck, that is the right person. Tuck, yeah. But somebody said The Good, the Bad, and it's no good now, Bridget. I've already. John and Bridget would have. I can imagine Bridget sat in Palambara just trying to get internet connection. She's too late. I'm sorry, Bridget, too late. So for the new season, for Wednesday night, I'm up 1-0. Just make a note of that.
Yeah,
there you go.
I've managed to forget that quite quickly, I think.
Grazie, Domenico.
Grazie.
Ci sentiamo domani mattina.
Ci vediamo.
Ciao,
Buona
Tony.
serata.
Ciao, buonasera.
Tone, as ever.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Completely useless. Anyway, there you go. I definitely can't give. What's this, Dave? You need to take some quotes from chick flicks. I don't watch those macho movies. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I will do. Next, what's that? Who's written that? It's Italian spaghetti westerns. Yeah, dude, it's true. So we were next week. It will be a chick flick then. It will be. Can you say that now? Is that politically correct, Tom?
Well, yeah, I would.
It's a bit nasty to hens and things like that, isn't it? See, you laughed at that.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
The joke wasn't that.
I am naturally funny. See, that wasn't my joke, so it didn't come naturally. Okay, folks, thank you so much for a bit of a half serious one this week. Please send me some jokes. Let's see if we can get a bit of a thing going. I want some good jokes. Obviously, I've started off terribly, but that wasn't my joke. Just to mention that again. Send us a few jokes, and we will read them out, and we'll have a winner. We'll have a winner of what did we call it? Fun. What was it called, Tone? I can't remember the name of it. Fun. What was it? Fun time in the sunshine. That's it. So send us a few jokes as well as some pictures. I need some more pictures for the stunning photo of the week. It's all good fun, isn't it? That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Having a bit of a laugh and doing a bit of serious stuff as well. So next week, I can't remember what I wrote for next week. It's either Maya Bruto or Meet the Homebuyers. It's one of those. I know you'll love it, whatever it is anyway. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your support, as usual. Look out for Saturday's property video. If you've not joined Patreon, join now, because tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Patreon, you get to see a property for €18,900, including all fees and taxes, and it's only 5 minutes from my house. What about that? Better than that, you just can't get it, can you? You just cannot get it. Anyway, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I really look forward to seeing you again not seeing you, but speaking to you next Wednesday, same time. Remember, we have changed to Wednesdays. It's going to be Wednesdays from now on, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Thank you so much. Really appreciate everything as usual. See you next week.